I'm the Weeaboo Warrior, and this is my review of Dragon Ball Super Chapter 51. Dragon Ball is one of my favorite series of all time, so it's about time I made a video on it. While I was somewhat disappointed with the Dragon Ball Super anime, and I do have my problems with the manga as well, I still thoroughly enjoy them. We're right in the middle of the first arc of the manga that hasn't been adapted into animation yet, and I believe it's still going strong. This might end up being my favorite arc of Super if this keeps up. We're being introduced to a variety of new characters. The villain is actually a threat that has powers besides just being strong. Vegeta's actually going to learn a new technique. Boo is finally being used. And we're exploring different corners of the galaxy. This chapter comprised of Moro and his goons looting and sucking planets dry. Vegeta heading to planet Yadrat to see if he can learn something to help him in his fight against Moro, and Goku interacting with the Galactic Patrol back at their base. Moro's men ruthlessly slaughter the inhabitants of multiple different planets, which I like, as Dragon Ball has always been a violent series, so when the Super anime turned the violence down by practically having no blood and body parts flying, besides the paper-mache Namekian arms with barely any or no blood coming out of them, I wasn't happy. This feels more like the old Dragon Ball with some good old-fashioned violence. One of the planets they assaulted was planet Zune, which was Pui Pui's home planet. I guess you can't expect much from them, considering the weakling Pui Pui was probably the strongest of their race considering he was chosen by Babidi. What I'm looking forward to is when Moro's men end up running into the Frieza Force, which should happen at the rate things are going since they're pretty much going to every notable planet with life. My favorite comedy scene from this chapter was when the Galactic King came out of the shower and got embarrassed for being naked, but was fine when he put his crown on. Goku brought up how he's still pretty much naked, and due to that, Jackal revealed to us that he isn't wearing any pants. So, the little pervert is basically pulling a Squidward on us. Goku then decided to test out Merus' strength, and in typical Goku fashion, he threw a sucker punch at him just like he did to Monaka in the Dragon Ball Super anime. One of these days, Goku's just gonna end up killing someone. Heck, his punch should have popped Monaka's head like a grape. But as I mentioned before, Dragon Ball Super is not that kind of show. We find out Merus isn't nearly as weak as Monaka though, and he was far stronger than I expected. He was able to easily avoid base Goku's attacks, countered Super Saiyan Goku, and he was even able to avoid all of Super Saiyan 3 Goku's blows, and make him go into God mode. Merus is so strong, Goku thinks he can be a good training partner for him to try and master Ultra Instinct. While this is cool and all, I actually have a problem with this. If Merus was so strong, why the hell did he let Frieza rule over the universe? Heck, Toriyama even said in an interview once that the Galactic Patrol had a run-in with Frieza, but Frieza kicked their butts. Where was Merus? Was he not born yet? Was he not strong enough yet? Was he not part of the Galactic Patrol yet? Does he not care about life? I have many questions, so I hope they get answered. The chapter ends with a few of the bandits that escaped from the Galactic Patrol prison heading off to Earth to try and steal some blue aurum, known on Earth as Sky Gold, and Vegeta reaching planet Yadrat. I can already guess those bandits will get their asses handed to them in some comedic way on Earth. But as for Vegeta, I have no idea what kind of techniques he'll learn. Find out next month on the next chapter of Dragon Ball Super!